What is going on, everybody? What is going on? We got some special guests in here today, but before we get into that, we're going to let Hugh give us the cold open, Hugh.
So I got this coworker, kind of retarded, doesn't really do a lot of work, just kind of like wanders around the office. He's not really doing a whole lot. I'm thinking about getting him a Get Better Soon card. He's not sick or anything. I just kind of think maybe he could do a little bit better around the office.
That's messed up, man. That's
hey, that's not nearly as bad as last week. I was sitting in my morning staff meeting, and I was like, my back was kind of hurting a little bit. My boss is like, "Your back right?" I'm like, "Oh man, it kind of hurts from carrying this fucking office for the last 6 months."
There we go. You gotta let him know. You gotta let him know.
You gotta let him know. Yeah, he doesn't like me.
Yeah, I know. So everyone, thank you so much for listening in. This is the Liberty Risk Podcast. We're joined here today on a very, very special episode here with Jesslee and TMR, the Marine rapper. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. You guys are releasing a new song here on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I'm seeing red. So we're all excited about it.
We've had the release day.
We've had the pleasure of hearing some little more extended snippets of the song than there's been out there on social media that everyone's been listening to and enjoying, which we're actually loving that you guys are getting all the love for the song. So we're going to get right into it. Jesslee, TMR, why don't you tell us what made this song come to fruition?
Well,
ladies first.
First off, you do a really good job at saying my name. So it's funny because everybody always wants to separate it into like 2 words. And I'm like, it's my first name. It's like Leslie, but with a J. So everybody always makes it so complicated. So thank you for being awesome and actually like not making it so complicated.
Yes, I just got kudos from Jesslee. I'm gonna just that's not very much.
I love that question because especially for me, because this is kind of the first time that I've really ever dove into anything aligning with anything political, to be honest. It's kind of for me when, long story short, the past 4 years have been just, I've just been seething over them, to be honest. And I'm like my whole branding is called the Chillbilly in town. I'm like the country. Yep. I'm like a chill hillbilly. Like it takes a lot to get me heated in any sort of way. I'm always like a calm, collected cucumber. And I've just felt like the past 4 years for me have just been just kind of a nightmare. And there were so many things that had me to where I was able to open up to the opportunity to finally be able to speak my truth. One of them being able to see my way out of my record deal.
Okay.
And I was able to. Yeah, thank you. I'm very happy about it, actually.
I hear that's happy. Like fucking murder getting out of some of those.
Yeah, well, I'm blessed to have a really good legal team. I'm blessed to have even better, a great manager and management team, and they've pushed really hard for me. But it's funny because one of the first things that was so important to me was being able to speak about these topics that I was not allowed to address in that time period. And
now, not to cut you off, Jesslee, was that directly related that you weren't allowed to speak with them because of the record deal that you were on? Was that censored by them?
Basically, 90% of the artists that are on labels are not supposed to bring those topics up, and a lot of the times it is you're legally tied. You're legally tied into that. But unfortunately, from where I stand, there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to that. And I was finding that when I was being told to not go political, it was meaning don't talk about a certain person. And don't
we all know who that is.
Yeah. And don't tell what side you're on, but the other people that were on the same record deal were actually allowed to speak on their views and got away with it. And it really opened up my eyes in so many ways, but not just like where I stood politically and kind of like solidifying that ground, but really realizing that I felt like this was also a spiritual warfare too. And I feel like it's two of those worlds kind of colliding into one. And it's really funny because I had already known TMR for probably about 2 or 3 years already at that time. And we had kind of on and off. We kind of on and off been like we need to make a collab happen. We need to do something. And then I signed my deal. I kind of got locked up verbally for a while. And then the second I was out, I actually already had a song ready for him. I had a whole nother song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a whole nother song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had a whole nother song ready for him. And then I don't even know if I'm trying to like make sure I don't say bad like things that are gonna get people in trouble. So there was an event. You're good. There was an event that happened. It shook me to my core, and it was the day after I had found out about it. I woke up, and that's where I, for the first time, had boldly expressed my political stance. And I was so angry about it. All I could keep hearing in my head over and over again was, "I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red. I am so pissed off." Yeah, that's all I could hear. And then it was like I kept hearing God. Like what I believe is like this special voice in my head that I hear that's like, it only comes out every once in a while. It's never told. I've never heard this in my life being told to me when it comes to my music. But I kept hearing, every time I'd hear that, I'd hear a whole different timbre in my head, which would say, "This is why I gave you your gifts. This is why I gave you your gifts." And I'm like trying to put it together. And I'm like, what? And what are you telling me? You know? So then I was in the gym. It was about 2 hours after I had this "I'm seeing red" floating around in my head. And I see this TikTok, and it was actually Dane Cook. Am I allowed to say his name?
Dane Cook. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can say that.
Dane Cook, give us free shit.
I'm so nervous.
Dane Cook, come back to comedy on our show, please.
Hey, give us free shit. Hey, Jesslee, just don't say it 2 more times or he'll appear.
Yeah, that's how you understand. That's how you understand.
I'm gonna screw up. I'm so nervous. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Hold on. First off, Jesslee, you're doing awesome. Right? Like, again, don't be nervous about it. Just everything we talked about in the green room. Just go over that. That's what we're going over.
I'm just trying to remember. I'm just like,
you're killing it. You're killing it.
So I saw a TikTok with Dane Cook pop up on my my feed, and it was really interesting because he literally had asked, he goes, I don't want to start any beef. I don't even want to start a war. I just want to know, like, where is the political climate right now? How are you all feeling? Yeah. And the comments blew me away. And for me, I just felt like it was a true depiction of how much suppression there is with what I had gone through with the media and being locked up contractually. There's little fireworks going on right now. What is happening?
The best part is are you what kind of phone are you on?
Is that an iPad or iPhone?
What just happened?
You're an iPhone?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you go like this.
So, Jess, you're like
again.
I'm an Italian guy. You got your hand gestures going like this.
Do it again.
You just throw a firework. Jesslee, look, this is a sign. The song's going to set off fireworks. It's going in the right direction. You're setting off fireworks on the podcast today.
Y'all, that just made me so much more scared.
No, don't be scared. I'm telling you right now.
That's CIA. Like, we heard everything you said
in the video.
I literally thought I just got in trouble. I was like, did I set off an alarm?
No.
Oh my God.
Jesslee, you're in here with 3 vets. We appreciate the fireworks. All right, we appreciate them. Okay, that's a good
trying to
thing.
figure out who set them off.
Yeah, no, you're doing good. You're doing good.
I set off an alarm. Okay, here we go. So picking back my train. I also have ADHD right now, so I'm trying to reel it back. So so I see I see that the comments are aligning with everything that I stand for, and people that are on certain sides are moving to other ones, and I was just like, oh my God. And my manager was actually with me at the time, and he looked and he goes, "You told me I'm seeing red." He's like, "I'm seeing red," and he points down at the phone, and I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, "This is what God is telling you." And it was just like, all of a sudden, I just heard it again. This is what your voice is for. This is what your voice is for. This is why I gave you your gifts. And the second I put it together, I'm like, I'm writing this song. I called up the 2 co-writers that I felt like were going to really be able to take what I already had melodically and everything in my head that was just kind of starting to pour out. I was already kind of writing it. And had a bunch of stuff ready to go, already had it started to produce, and they came in and they finished it up with me. And then I was like, I'm calling TMR like today. And my manager was like, I need to check him out. And I'm like, trust me. I'm like, you'll
be good.
You're going to hear him and you're going to be like,
first off, nobody asked you. I'll probably remind you to stand up a professional life.
No, he's so funny. I really do have a great manager the label, not so much. My manager though, he's like one of those guys where it's like, he literally will never tell me what to do. He will give his opinion and say, hey, maybe I think you should maybe tweak this way, you know, just to not be so rash, or to not, because I'm Italian as it gets. Like, I say it like it is. Sometimes I need someone to actually be there and be like, hey, let's pull it back a little bit because you're coming off a little brash. But so he really does. He looks out for me. But ultimately, like, in the end with him, it's my decision. But I told him, I was like, you know, I was like, this guy's perfect. You're gonna freak out. And so he pulls up his stuff and he's like, send it to him right away. So then, so that's how we ended up getting TMR on the track. And then I'm gonna let you talk about it, TMR, now.
Look at him, TMR sitting back all calm, cool, and collected. Look at him.
Yeah. Y'all are Italian, but I'm Marine. I'm like chill until I'm not. Like,
trust me, I got it, man. I'm good.
You know what I'm talking about.
Met a chill Italian.
Yeah, I'm keeping you on your good side, though.
Hey, Hugh, are you Italian too?
No, I'm just a white man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm an alcoholic mostly. Northwestern European island nations. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was just asking because, like, I feel like I'm surrounded. You know what I mean? But nothing wrong with that. It's all good. It was crazy because Jesslee reached out to me and was like, "Yo, I got the song. This is just a scratch track." And amongst musicians, we understand certain terms and she's like, "This is kind of like a rough draft." And I'm like, "Rough draft, man? She sounds phenomenal. Whatever." And then so she's like, "Yeah, do something to this." And I was just like thinking to myself, I was like, "Don't mess this up, Ray. Don't mess this up. She's killing it." So I'm over here trying to figure out what to do because I also don't write anything for some reason. Like, it's easier for me not to write anything. Yeah. Because let
me ask you about that. So that's how I want to get into that with both of you. Yeah. Because I'm a big music fan. Okay. I listen to such a wide variety of music, and I'm not even kidding. I could literally have on Mozart and go right into Wu-Tang and then throw on some Alice in Chains, and it's just all over the place.
Keying off of that, they call my playlist, my friends, they call it song roulette because it's the same way. It's like you never know. I will literally have a slow jam R&B on, and then it's like Disturbed.
Don't let Billy lie to you. Billy's playlist is Billy Joel, Frank Sinatra.
Hey,
see, there it is. Hey, bro.
Hey. Don't mess with Frankie. We ain't talking about that. No, but so TMR, like, how do you, when you get these tracks like from Jesslee, do you just go into like recording? Like, do you pick your phone up and it just comes off the top of your head and just start going?
So like, and I said this to Jesslee just joking around, and I say things in jest, but I'm pretty sure she knows some things are dead serious. Like, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So like this, I'm in my studio.
Bro.
Like when Jesslee's saying something, she's like, "Oh, I just came from the studio," or "I'm heading to the studio." I'm like, "I'm in here. We're here." So like so she sent me something. She's like, "You could do something to this," and I was just like, "Yeah." And then so like my recording process, which I think that's what you're asking me about, is like I'm already ready because I'm already. So let me rewind just a little bit. Let me go back to the future. So my mom, anytime I would ask her what a word meant, because I'm East Coast, we're about hustle. New Jersey, hustle, moving quick. So anytime I would ask her something as a little boy, like I was like 5 years old, I was like, "Hey mom, what's this word mean?" She's all, "Look it up." I said, "What is this?" She said,
"I just said that to my daughter literally 3 hours ago." She's like, "Daddy, what's this mean?" She said, "Look this up."
She said, "Go look it up, look it up, look it up." And I didn't know she was making me like a human thesaurus.
Go, mama.
So like I didn't know that at first.
He was teaching you how to fish, not giving you fish.
Exactly.
That's a good mama.
So she's like, she always taught me how to hustle and how to get it and stuff like that. So like, I so much love for her, single mom and stuff like that, making it happen and stuff. But she'd say, "Look it up, look it up, look it up." And so like, I have a whole bunch of words in my head or whatever. It's just like, what flavor do I want to like put on top of it? I go, okay, I'm dealing with, this country pop star who has this crazy range, and she starts out slow, but she can get intense. She has all these different ranges. So I need to show that too, but I still need to be me. I don't need to act like nobody else. And so my tone,
I wanted TMR, and he gave me that.
And the tone that I pull is because I'm influenced by drill instructors, you know how drill instructors can whisper something and project their voice, but sometimes they could be like, da, 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 like that or whatever. So like, and then I'm influenced by drill instructors, the Storis, and then M16 because they go da, 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 da. So like when you hear me, I actually do the rhythm of that gun behind you on that flag. So because I've studied it for years or whatever. Right there, the M16 back there on the flag, cross rifles. But it's just I know all that. It's basically like I already have all the tools in my toolbox. It's just like, how do I want to approach it? So I approach it how I'd approach it or whatever. I listened to what she said, and then I said, okay, I have to match it because she's doing a whole bunch of, we call it juxtaposition. She's doing opposites and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I did that. Let me just tell my story. And then she comes back to me. She's like, yo, we love it. I was like, cool. And I'm like, oh, work's done. All right, let me just go. And
damn, man.
I was just like, let's go make some money. You know what I mean? That dollar was earned. So I was like, okay.
He's over here like, stay lyrically strapped so you don't get lyrically capped.
Well, here's the
But wait, there's more. Jesslee will tell you. But wait, there's more.
Well, here's the funny part, because I was like, listen, I don't even have to tell you the assignment. You can hear the song, you get it. I was like, this is so up your alley. Do your thing. Just like you said, I want you on this, you know? So we gave him a free, like a free range with 16 bars, right?
Okay.
So he comes back and he throws down these bars, and I play them for everybody. And it was so funny because I sit there and I think to myself and I said, damn, I want more. And so all of a sudden, I get a text from my manager, and he goes, holy shit, that was so good, but there's one problem. And I go, what? And he goes, I want more. And I was like, that's what I thought. So then I'm not even kidding. Like, I literally 5 seconds later, because I had sent it in a group. I've got 2 managers. I have my day-to-day and then my big picture. My day-to-day, Lisa. I send it off to Lisa. She goes, oh my God, I love it so much, but I just didn't feel like it was enough. And I was like, oh, okay, this is the answer. And then it was like, it was already done, but I had sent it to the writers too, because, they're on it. They're, on a co-writer stance, and what do you know? Same exact thing. They come at me and they're like, this was so good. But Kelly, she's so sweet. She didn't want to step on him. She actually goes, I know, like with rappers that you don't tell them how to write their bars, but
she said, can you send him more back and see if he'll give us more without being rude?
That's what she literally goes, she goes, I know you're not supposed to tell the rappers like what to do, but is there any way that you could ask him to just like add more? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he'll add more.
So
like
funny.
he's cool like that.
But you left out one part.
What did I leave out?
You said, can you add him? Can you tell him to add more? But we need some Jesus.
She's so
That's
cute.
perfect. That's perfect.
She did. She's so cute. She goes, because she's like, he killed it because it's like all the a lot of the political side. Because it breaks into the political and then goes into spiritual warfare, right? So I was like, she goes, I want that from his rap too. But she goes, I know we're not supposed to ask what they write in their bars, but can you ask him to just do one thing? Can he sprinkle a little bit of Jesus in there? And I just started laughing. I started laughing so hard. I was like, I'm sure we'll have zero problem with that, Kelly.
Yeah, can you salt bay the Jesus on that for me, please?
No, and it's crazy because like literally I live my life ever since all Iraq deployments and stuff because I struggled with it big time because am I killing or am I murdering somebody? And I spoke to the chaplain and he's like, murdering and killing are 2 different things. And then so that has always been something I've been thinking about for decades. And then on top of that, my favorite scripture is Ephesians 6:11. So it's just like, so she said, add Jesus. And I said, what? I unsheathed my sword. I said, let's go. You said, add Jesus. I got you. I said, I love David. You know what I mean? So I was just like, I was so ready for that. I was just like, oh, game on. And then it's crazy because I feel like that's the part where it really starts. You can tell in the videos where I'm really like feeling it. That's the part where, I said blood in my eye, like I'm Jesus. Devil done turned up the heat in that part, because that's the part where they told me to like redo, and and I was like, they're not sending it back again. I have to go in there. I have to sprinkle some Jesus. So like
that's fucking great, dude. Because so I know on Jesslee on your Instagram you have Ephesians 6:12 up there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. TMR Ephesians 6:11. Put on the armor of God so that you may be able to stand firm against the tactics of the devil. Yep. Followed up by, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over the present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. That's fucking awesome. No communication, just like a kindred understanding. Like, this is what we're here for, and this is what we're doing.
Oh, he got the assignment, and I knew he would. That's why I wanted him, and it was so funny because it was like the second I had, and like I said, I already had something lined up that I wanted him to do. And then I was like, nah, screw it. I'm gonna give that to something else. This is better. This is TMR. This is in his lane. I knew he'd get it because of the fact that we had I'd seen, he does gospel releases. You know what I mean? So like I had kind of known already that was a land that he was not only gonna do, but do it well and do it fearlessly. And I really needed someone on this that is like fearless like him, because he is. He tells it like it is. He's just a badass. You know what I mean? And like I just needed someone that was gonna be.
Well, he is a Marine, so
exactly. He's absolutely fearless, and like that's kind of how I live. And if it wasn't for me kind of having to stay buttoned up with my mouth, like I'm the same way. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of say it like it is. And I knew, like, I was like, if there's anybody that's going to be able to like keep up with crazy old me, like, it's going to be TMR.
Sorry, go ahead, Billy.
No, I was going to say, it's definitely awesome. It's, it just sounds very, just hearing you talk, Jesslee, it just sounds like you were uncaged. Like the cage door was open, you felt free and you just ran with it, and you can hear it. You can hear it in the song again. For those that are just kicking in, we actually had the pleasure of listening to the song. I guess it's kind of the perk of hosting a podcast show. So it's I've got to hear longer snippets, and it's amazing. Like it hit me, it moved me. Both of you. It's an absolutely amazing song, and I'm so excited to see what happens with the song moving forward. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you.
So, did you feel like a huge weight?
Oh my God!
Taken off your shoulders. Like, did you actually feel? You know what I'm talking about? Like when you have those moments in life where you genuinely feel lighter.
I was like counting down the days until I could say that. I was waiting to be basically the female TMR. Okay, like
I was gonna say the she-male rapper, but that ain't gonna work.
But seriously, like on a freedom level, like, I've got a long line of military in my family, and
appreciate their service.
Oh yeah, well
I was gonna ask if your family had ties to the military.
Yes, well my dad is no longer with us. He actually passed away while I was filming on The Voice. But he was a major in the Army, and then I've had 3 colonel uncles that one of them. Yes, so very long line. And I love the military so much, and I'm actually doing a bunch of touring with the USO right now. It's just kind of like in my blood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's in my blood.
Awesome.
I love being able to do it. It's been my favorite touring that I've ever done, and I've been blessed to open up for like Jason Aldean and Thomas Rhett and Winona Judd and some of the best people in country music. But like this is just so much better. Like being able to serve those who have served, for us. There's nothing like it, to be honest.
Well, I'll tell you right now, one of the biggest, I've had the pleasure of seeing a bunch of artists on the USO tours, and for you doing it, and these guys can contest to this. It's very, when we're over there, doing whatever we're doing, when you have people like you that come out and just take out their time just to sing a song, it might not seem to some people, she's just singing. No, you're bringing what we're fighting for over to us.
Yeah.
What it is is the
fucking audacity we have to go to war in other people's countries and then bring our own entertainment with us. Like, after we're like tired,
Too.
you know, we
I
like
that
too.
maybe we get steak and lobster on Friday, but they're like we're gonna host a fucking concert.
But we're gonna listen to
At the
Jesslee
same
today,
time,
and she's gonna
yeah.
fucking kill it.
Like the fucking audacity we have, man. It's awesome. Yeah,
No,
US
but
Show is the fucking best. It's and not every tour gets one too. So when you get one lineup, like, hell yeah, this is gonna be a great Tuesday night. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So no, from someone who has served, I do appreciate you doing that. It means a lot to the men and women that serve. It means more than I think we could probably ever really tell you. So it's special that you're doing that.
I feel thankful that I get to do it. So I appreciate it, but like, it's truly my honor. It's been, I just feel so good that I get to use the gifts that God gave me for good and being able to be here for the people that are so amazing. But yeah, so long line in the military in my family, huge passion for them. I've worked very closely with the WVRF and the CVMA, and over the years that I've been doing music, we've raised from like concerts that I've thrown, I think about like $50,000 now for the military. So it's a big special place in my heart. It's one of the top foundations. That and rescue dogs are like my top two.
There we go. There we go.
Are my top two. I have a big dream, but combining the two one day. So it's gonna be lots of things.
That shit sells itself, man. I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah, we can talk to you about some stuff offline, Jesslee.
Yeah,
We know some people that do some pretty special stuff with that. So
I would love that.
Definitely awesome.
I would love that. But yeah, but all that to be said, really, the reason I said it is that, out of so much respect that I have, I also know that there's a reason that you guys do what you do. And one of it is the fact that, our freedoms and our freedom of speech. And like, for me to know that I didn't have that, yeah, it was truly freeing. I literally felt like I was in, and I'm just being honest, like I'm very much an open book. I never had gone the type of depression that I went through until I was on my record deal. And a lot of it was because I just felt so like just suppressed in like everything that I had to do and say.
You had all these limitations.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're going to make us all this money, but also these are the things we do and don't want you to say.
Absolutely.
But you're a creative genius.
Right. And not all record deal situations are bad. Usually the bigger you get along the way, the more say you have. There also is such thing as imprinting. That being said, I will never say I won't sign a record deal again, but I will be very, very studious on what that is. And I will be sure to omit the
clauses
amendment in there that talks about my freedom of speech. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a big one. That's a big one, especially for someone on the creative side too, is, I can only imagine, you were talking earlier, like how you're like, I'm seeing red. You got this going through your mind, you're feeling it, there's this connection to it. You're trying to put that together. And then for someone to rip that away because you're on a label, that's got to sting it from an artist's perspective. I mean, there's certain things, Hugh and I have been doing this podcast for, going on 5 years. And we've had the esteemed pleasure of connecting with so many different veteran organizations and businesses and giving them really honestly, what we do is just to give them a free platform and to promote their businesses and stuff. But also when we don't have guests on, Hugh and I just like to have a conversation. We always want to make it feel like it was a veteran campfire conversation, have some laughs, but be completely uncensored in the sense that we're just going to be our genuine selves.
Yeah.
And to have someone take that away from
I'm going to drink and do a ton of swearing is what that means.
Yeah, pretty much being a service member. Anyway. Yeah. But we've encountered the times, like especially during COVID, I was talking to TMR about this, and we both realized, we connected years ago when we were getting censored by people that run certain social media platforms that were just not pushing our stuff out, or all of a sudden I couldn't get into an account or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I understand that part. It's gotta be tough.
That is real.
It's very real. It's 100% real.
And unfortunately it's one-sided, and it's really one-sided.
And we know
the things that we've had to go through with this release. I mean, I had to put my sound clip on TikTok and they denied it 6 times, and it literally took the AFF and Red Army Nation coming in, and attacking them, and basically starting a war and making the video go extremely start to go viral and calling them out. And then eventually it was very, very funny how about an hour later, after the video just kept getting pushed by the AFF Nation, all of a sudden out of nowhere my sound got approved. So
funny how that works, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, it was I've had now a total of 5 videos that have just been ripped down on TikTok, just because they didn't like what I was saying. It's really, honestly, anything that's been happening with this song has been the people coming out and pushing it, and the engagement has been unreal. Like, I just don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I told God when I did this, I was like, this is either going to go fantastic or this is going to be the last song I ever release because I burned out in flames.
No,
so
we're not
either
gonna,
one.
If we have anything to say about it, we're not going to let that happen. On the opposite end of that spectrum, with that happening, what about the other end on direct messages? Have you had attacks from the other side?
No.
On messages?
No. So
that's a good thing. I mean, honestly, let's call it what it is. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like,
well, on a message standpoint, I get, and I'm not even exaggerating, like I get probably about at least 50 to 100 messages a day. So my DMs are like,
I got 3 yesterday and I was happy.
And
one of them was from TMR and one of them was from you.
My brother sends me shit on Instagram. I'm like, bitch, you need to chill. We work together.
But
no, that's because I've always been curious about that, Jesslee. Is like when you're doing the song that you're doing, you and TMR, and I know, just getting, because we see everything. So there's a lot of misinformation out there. Tons of it. Let's call it what it is. And it's hard in this day and age. And I feel for my kids, my middle school and high school kids who have to deal with this. And I have to tell them, like, don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Oh, absolutely.
You need to learn how to form your own opinions. But I've always been curious with someone that's, at industry level like yourself, do you get those messages from that other side?
Well,
when you're focusing, do you see what I'm saying? Like, from people?
Absolutely. So here's the thing, message wise, like DM wise, I don't even, I have to know kind of like who you are and what you've done and kind of like dig into you for me to even read your stuff. Like, that's just kind of, I'm not trying to sound cocky at all.
No, I get it. I mean,
she's like, I don't even read. You
got 100 motherfuckers sending me messages. I'm like, denied.
For your
you have
mental
11 numbers after your name. You go right into the trash.
Right. I'm gonna be honest. I would be concerned if I had the time to dig into that many messages a day. Because what the hell am I doing then, right? Like, I got shit to do.
Yeah, I'm letting all those messages dig into my afternoon nap time. You out of your mind?
Right. But when it comes to comments and things like that, so comments, I'm truly shocked. I would say it's been about 98% straight love, like absolute.
Don't hesitate next time, because I was worried you were going to say.
I mean, I wasn't kidding when I'm telling you I'm seeing red. I'm trying to prove a point here. This is the people. Like, I really believe like this is where the people, what the people want. You know what I mean? And this is where God has his favor. I truly believe that in my heart. Awesome. My numbers show it. When you go and look through my comments, you would be flipped out by like how many people feel the same way I feel. And I think they're just waiting for someone brave enough to say that. And TMR and I were just brave enough to say it. We just, like Eminem says, we just kind of had the balls to spit it. You know what I mean? So
there we go. I'm loving it. But
you always get, though, which my favorite, return is when I get the occasional hater. I just love to say, well, you're just making a beautiful example of the way your side is. Because the fact of the matter is when I see things that pop up and I don't agree with, I don't have the time nor the energy or feel like I even need to do 1 millisecond to comment on your shit. So what does that say?
Yeah, there we go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does that say? I'm too busy doing something with my life. I ain't got time for you and telling you what I feel. You know what I mean?
I really haven't seen somebody who was like super successful who was like really concerned about people saying this and that. It's like, especially, it's crazy because, when they say, somebody called me a name or this and that, I'm just like, especially military guys, I was like, if your drill instructor didn't call you all of that before you left, he failed you. I was just like, and before that, my mom used to tell me before I went out in the street, me being literally, a bedtime story for a black little boy is different than anybody else. She was like, yo, watch out for the cops, pull your hood down, keep your hands in your pockets. They don't want to know if you're going to steal anything. Like, literally, I was briefed before I went outside the door. So, like, everybody and women get the same thing, too, about watching out for guys, and other people get different briefs and stuff. But basically what I'm saying is, if you don't have the life experience already before you go to the internet, you should be able to be on the internet.
Yeah. That's like you
that's what it is. I'm curious.
There's a new mural going up downtown, and I don't like it because it doesn't match the old one. Oh, first day.
First day.
Right. And I mean,
I'm a big fan of listening.
No matter what you do. No matter
I'm a big fan of even negative publicity is still publicity.
Absolutely.
So you commented, and your 128 same-eyed friends all saw the same shit. Thanks, man. That's 128 more people I didn't have yesterday. Thanks.
No,
look it out.
And it's the truth. And absolutely, no matter what you do, though, and like literally, no matter what you do, if you are putting yourself out there, you are always going to get someone that has something to say about it. But there really is a difference. It's like I'm a different kind of person. I've never, ever looked at someone that had a different opinion than me and felt like I need to comment on this and let them know that they're a stupid, whatever, and that's the difference.
Yeah. Oh, you can swear. That's okay.
Right. And that's, well, I'm trying to be a better Christian right now too. I'm actually trying
okay. Fair enough.
Well, I apologize for the invitation.
Yeah. I've been praying over that and working. I curse, but but I've been trying a little better. To monitor myself a little better.
We got you.
I've got that again that loud Italian family where we can get vulgar, but I'm like, I need to just rein it in.
Pull it back a little bit.
Right. But no,
I don't know if this is gonna be the right show for you.
It's funny. It's kind of the cliche saying, but it's like you always realize the loudest people are the ones that are in the stands, not the ones that's actually in there playing. Doing.
I'm stealing that. You better trademark copyright that. I'm stealing it.
Right.
I'm stealing
Wow, that one is, and then there's another one. It's you never see nobody at the top hate down.
True.
That's fact.
Well,
I don't have why would you hate on somebody who you get what I mean? So I'm just like, oh, you're down there. You're saying something. I didn't even hear you.
And when people want to run their mouth, you know what they say? It's better to say nothing and let people have the assumption that you're stupid than to open your mouth and confirm it.
Yeah,
exactly. And I also want to caveat. I'm not saying oh, I'm better than anybody else because I feel like everybody is afforded the same.
There's at least 4 people out there I'm better than.
Okay, that's true. You have a huge distance. Hugh. Since we're talking hues and colors, you messing with a rapper here. But anyway,
do you move on?
Okay, but yeah, the whole point I'm saying is we don't got no time for that. Ain't nobody got no time for that. For real, why are we going to be hating on somebody, this and that? And I told this guy the other day, I'm like, man, I really feel in my heart that you need a prayer or something because you were this. Why are you? And for me,
Jesus.
Okay, and he needs Jesus. No, but here's another thing too. I was raised different in the way that guys don't say certain stuff to females. You have time to you know what I'm saying? You have time to hate on a female. You wouldn't say this to her face. And if you get what I mean, and anybody who would hit a female is a punk anyway. So it's I was just raised in a different way. And I'm just and then when I meet these guys in person, because I do pop out, I go to the USO thing too. I do pop out, and then bro, I'm a big fan. I was like, wasn't you just saying I was what's ago? Because they see you in person and they're like, oh snap, I really didn't. You guys thought it was.
I want to put it on my gram.
Yeah, no, because they thought it was all cute, because we're entertainers. They think it's cute and stuff. They don't think we have nuances and layers. They're like, oh no, TMR, we all good. How we all good now that we're in person? But on the internet,
shit.
Yeah.
You're good. I'm not good. I'm still mad.
You need to call your mom and tell her she did a terrible job raising you.
No. Hey, East Coast folks. We what are you? You can't even look at us. What are you looking at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just now the internet stuff doesn't even make any sense because I'm say what you were saying online to my face now. Yeah. So, but I'm trying to be reformed, just how she said, Christian. We trying to.
Well, the whole thing too is
TMR's a real true gent though, because I've noticed that it was really cute because we were all talking about it on our brief call before we started the promo, and because I'm spicy, I'm real spicy. When someone comments on my stuff, I occasionally, sometimes I'm like, I just kind of want to like play their own game and just hit them. But half of these people, they are so stupid. Like, and I'm not. They're so dumb. Like, they'll just say something so stupid, and I'll just twist it right on their own argument, and then they're just like, they don't even know what to do. So like, but it's funny because TMR goes, well, I don't even address it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. So it was really funny because the comment, like, I mean, again, it's been all really, really love, and occasionally you just get like the one douchebag. But you know, but it was funny because I noticed that TMR was popping in and defending me, and I actually told my manager that. I go, I think it's really sweet that like he doesn't even want to defend himself, but he's a true gentleman, and he comes in and he wants to help little old me.
Oh yeah, no, no, I'm like that. Like, you know how you could, somebody could talk about you.
Yeah.
But if they talk about a female or somebody you love like that, like I'm like lit. Like I get so lit. No, and then so that morning, Jesslee, I chose violence that morning. I was just like, yo, because sometimes they think it's all funny and all that stuff, but like I just chose violence that day, and I'm just like, oh, come on.
No, so yeah, I guess my whole point for that question was, and I'm glad we went deep into that, is because, you know, this song I'm Seeing Red is gonna stir the pot on both sides. It's gonna have this huge breakout on one side, and then it's gonna have this other breakout that's not gonna, you know, people can get hurt. They're gonna get their feelings hurt a little bit, and that's okay because it's 100% your authentic.
They need to get their ass a helmet then, because grow up.
They only got 2 brain cells, and they're both fighting for third.
I'll drive the short bus and take these SOBs to one location. We just drop them off. Okay. That's what
but the one thing that I love, I have a whole bunch of different types of friends, you know, because on all types of different sides and stuff like that. And there is a guy who's like, yo, I don't agree with the message, but I cannot say. There's no way I can say she cannot sing. I can't say it. No, he was like, I can't. He's all, I don't like what she's talking about, but it's fire. I don't know what to do. Like, he couldn't compute. He was like, yo, she's talented.
That's almost better.
He's like, I'm supposed to. No, and it is.
Stop listening to it. Like,
it was so funny because I talked to some of them some of the guys that opposed to it. They're like, yo, I just in the DMs and stuff, my other military guys that opposed to it, they're like, hey, I don't really rock with the message, but dang, she could sing. Not sing, she sang. So it's funny because it'll come out and people will be like, I don't like what she's saying, but when everybody leaves, they'll close the door and they'll be like singing it.
Well, listen, you guys.
I honestly don't even know how I landed though, like where I landed on TikTok though, because I truthfully, that being said, I really thought that it was going to be like 50-50. Like I really thought it was like, I really did. I was like, I'm going to divide my audience right in half. I have gone up, and I swear to God, I wasn't looking for this. I just wanted to put out a message God put on my heart. I did not do this for any other reason than that. This is purely authentic and something I've been wanting to do for a while and literally just could not. And I even made a post talking about that. In a 2-week period, the videos have gotten over 500,000 views. Not even 2 weeks. The first video came out when, TMR? Like Tuesday last week? Yeah. Like 8 days ago. It's been like 7 or 8 days.
7 or 8, yeah.
It's like 500,000 views. Okay. It's like I've gone up like 25,000 followers. Like I've had so many people be like, you are going to lose your fan base. You're going to lose your fan base. You're going to cut them right in half. But realistically, I've just honestly found the people that want to just, you know, I really think it's just like I found this group of people that have been wanting to say what I want to say and just haven't like
and hear the message that God put on your heart.
They just vibrate on the same wavelength that you do.
Yeah, I don't know how I landed where I landed, especially TikTok. I mean, and they are the only reason the videos are even getting out there right now. It is not because of TikTok itself. So
that's amazing.
It's the movement.
That's so amazing. And you know what? And guys, both of you, I can't thank you enough. Can't thank you enough for joining us on Liberty Risk Podcast. It means the world to us to be able to just be a little tiny small part of hopefully pushing this song to #1, because that's the goal, right? Let's get this song to #1, right? Yeah. You always want to be top of the charts. And, you know, hopefully it goes even further than that. Both of you, thank you so much for everything you do. It's definitely been a pleasure. TMR, Jesslee, we would love to have you back.
Yes.
After the song, we'll touch base. Hopefully, get you back on and do a post-release update whenever you guys have some time. I know you're both very busy. Gracing the world with your music. So, everyone, thank you so much for joining us here on Liberty Risk Podcast. Again, Hugh and myself love you guys. Go ahead, check us out on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and all those other great social channels where you can listen to podcasts. And we'll see you guys next time. Y'all have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.